You can trust me. This video will wow you. Already beginning to drive XRP Ripple's price is Coinbase, the biggest crypto exchange worldwide. These are the facts, albeit it sounds absurd. Over this news, experts have become insane. They are sure XRP Ripple coin's price might soar to $2,535. Missing this is not something you can afford. Let's walk through it methodically. Note, disclaiming XRP just made news once more, and the figures are astounding this time. Shock waves in the crypto market have come from about 29,000% increase in trading volume on Coinbase. Edward Farina, Alpha Lions Academy's CEO, initially raised attention to the spike when he shared CoinGlass statistics showing a 24-hour volume increase of 12,495%, swiftly corrected to approximately 29,140,000 in XRP spot transactions. This went beyond a Coinbase oddity. XRP trading volume was shown on the heat map as rising all around, trailed just behind Binance, and momentarily passed platforms like OKX, Bybit, and Kraken. There was no chance timing for this volume explosion. It matched fresh reports on the possible release of a spot XRP ETF, presently among the most expected actions in the institutional crypto scene. Currently slated to establish Canada's first XRP spot ETF on the Toronto Stock Exchange is Purpose Investments, the company responsible for starting the first Bitcoin ETF worldwide in 2021. This is not only another tradable good, this is a big indication that XRP is at last receiving the regulatory respect it has been battling for in institutions. The green light from the Ontario Securities Commission indicates that the asset is now being identified and presented in a manner that conventional investors could find simple access to. Why, therefore, does an ETF matter so much? Said another way, consider an ETF as a financial asset vending machine. Investors acquire shares of the machine carrying the candy instead of a candy bar straightforward purchase. Every share in a spot ETF is supported by actual XRP, not only paper pledges or futures contracts. Therefore, each time someone purchases an ETF share, the provider, in this case Purpose, must go out and actually acquire XRP from the open market to support that position. Simple results from multiplying that behavior by millions of dollars in inflows from pensions, colleges, and brokers. Actual demand forces the price upward. Maybe the U.S. is not far behind either. Times tabloid claims the SEC is scheduled to decide on Franklin Templeton's application for a U.S.-based spot XRP ETF today. Given the SEC's long controversial fight with Ripple and its historically strict attitude on cryptocurrencies, a green light here might represent a significant change not only for XRP but for the whole sector. It would legitimate XRP in the view of mainstream finance, open the door to mass adoption, making XRP accessible via retirement accounts and trading apps. Coinbase is starting to show up as a possible quiet driver of this rally as well. Globally, the platform had one of the most sharp increases in XRP trade volume. Given its wary posture in the wake of past regulatory conflicts, a stunning feat. Here is where things get quite fascinating, though. Rumors abound that Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, has millions of XRP currencies. Though unverified, the theory that a big U.S. cryptocurrency exchange operator might be directly XRP investor is igniting the community. Should Coinbase turn out to be a major custodian or liquidity source for any future U.S.-based XRP ETF, a quite likely scenario that would improve XRP's value and usefulness inside the American financial system. Long viewed as an underdog following years of legal difficulties, XRP is finally attracting institutional support, legislative certainty, and significant interest from big platforms and investors. There is no haphazard matrix error in the 29,000% spike on Coinbase. It's a warning that something major is building. Simply said, XRP is becoming impossible to overlook, as Edward Farina put it. Should the ETF doors open in the US and Canada, we might be observing the start of a new XRP era, one motivated by actual value, actual money, actual belief rather than buzz. Naturally, the specialists are humming as well. They're planning behind the scenes, not merely observing. Since the next chapter in XRP could be the most explosive one ever written. Some refer to it as the start of a hitherto unheard-of financial revolution. And believe me, their forecasts go beyond mere boldness. They are mind-boggling. You are going to find this interesting. XRP isn't simply heating up then, either. Beginning to boil is this. The graphs are brilliant. The loudness is explosive. And now even longtime doubters are twice looking. And while some may dismiss reports of a 10,000 XRP surge into crypto circles as illusion, others are beginning to make the calculations. Managing Director of Digital Ascension Group, Jake Claver, recently sparked the XRP community with a daring prediction. XRP might not in some far future fly to $10,000. Claver revealed in an X video merely 2 years as his timeline. This is not hollow hype, though. Claver bases his case on practical relevance as well as future requirements of financial organizations. He notes that XRP's price must climb if it is to develop a major backbone for world payments. Not for speculation, rather for the fundamental architecture of the network to run effectively. There are great ramifications from a basic equation. David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, has before discussed how the efficiency of the XRP ledger really rises when XRP price rises. For instance, you would need 1 million tokens to trade $1 million using XRP at $1 per token. If XRP is worth $10, though, you just need 100,000. While raising scalability, a greater token price lowers liquidity requirements. And that is not only a theoretical construct. Institutions need this kind of framework for cross-border transactions totaling trillions. The XRP community is bursting with conjecture, some of which is rather combustible. Ammonix posted simply, "A huge XRP wave is approaching. Blink will cause you to miss it." Steph said, "Every XRP surge starts from here." Don't let yourself be misled now. These are not merely hucksters' tweets. They are manifestations of a feeling change sweeping over the market. Even wilder assertions, such as one from XRP Avengers, implying XRP would be gold-backed and finally priced at $2,953, are currently floating about. Until you understand central banks all across are already shifting to back digital currencies with gold, that would appear far-fetched. Digital G goes one step further, tying the concept of a $10,000 gold valuation to the explosive growth of digital assets. Once fiat falls and countries tether their CBDCs to tangible assets like gold, digital currencies like XRP might be driven to unthinkable heights, in his opinion. He tosses a jaw-dropping figure, $15,000 per XRP, under such kind of environment, defined by